Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons. Sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club. Kenworth Trucks Australia. Dasmac, shipping your classic car from the world to your doorstep. And the Intershed. G'day, I'm Fletch and welcome as I bring you to Detroit in Michigan as I continue to cross parts of the United States for 2025 with a big thanks to Shannons. How cool is this? We are about to feature a workshop where the guys specialise in more of the underdog type of cars, because in here not everything's about the muscle car bracket. These cars in here are mainly C-bodied Mopars and some ex-police cars that you're about to see in this week's Classic Restos Stateside. Last year when I was visiting Detroit, I met these two guys and I was so impressed with what I saw, I told them I'd be back next year to feature some of what they did. Well, here I am, back in Detroit, and this is their story. This is the workshop of Chase Classic Motors, and this is their company history and their mission. First of all, this is Eric, the brains and the muscle of the shop. Eric is a certified ASE mechanic of over 20 years and a former auto shop teacher at a local community college. This is Ross, the heart and the voice of the shop, a die-hard classic car fan who manages the financial and the admin side of the company. And this is Logan, Eric's new apprentice, a talented student with a passion for old cars and a legacy of working on them, and to hopefully entice more young people to embrace and appreciate this classic car culture. Chase Classic Motors was formed in March of 2022. The inspiration was there to want to build a classic car repair facility and to create a Detroit theme that focused on the cars that were remembered from their 1980s youth, especially as so many were designed and built right here in Detroit. In the past, Ross and Eric often felt ignored by mainstream car shops who would dismiss them, as they didn't know what to do with their cars, and parts in some cases were just so hard to find. Performance or muscle car shops also perceived their four-door cars as almost beneath them. So this is where the recipe started and the mixing bowl came out, because Ross and Eric wanted to start cooking up their own formula to create a workshop where forgotten and forsaken classics, like four-door police cars, would be welcomed and treated with the same amount of respect as a member of the muscle car royalty. Ross began collecting and restoring historical police cars when he was a rookie police officer in the early 2000s. Ross loved the classic vehicles so much he wanted to go into law enforcement because of his interest in the vehicles used to perform the job here in the USA. And of course, collecting police cars is pretty cool. They were prominently featured in our favourite car chase movies and TV shows from the 70s and 80s, so because of this, Ross and Eric have a law enforcement theme to their workshop to serve and protect great cars, much like the faded motto on the fender of the famous 1974 Dodge Monaco Bluesmobile. Although all cars are appreciated here in the shop, the connection to the hobby of police car collecting is what sets them apart. After all, what is the Bandit's Trans Am without the Sheriff's car? What is the General Lee Charger without Sheriff Roscoe's car in hot pursuit? What is the Cannonball Run Lamborghini without a fleet of police cars trying to catch it? So Ross and Eric enjoy having the cars that were the butt of the joke. The Coyote that could never catch the Roadrunner, so to speak, but most were well-powered and had all the goody bits in the right places. These old land yachts have awesome stories. They were beautiful to drive, and they were manufactured in an automotive era that none of us will ever see again. So to begin this episode, before we start having a chat with Ross and Eric, this gentleman here has driven 100 miles today, around about 150, 160 kilometres in the metric. Because you heard that I was going to be here today. You're friends of Ross and Eric.
Correct.
So Joe, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
That's okay. Now, because you've made the effort to drive so far in this incredible car behind me, a 1961 Polara, but it's not just a Polara. Share with us what it is, Joe.
Sure. It's a 1961 Dodge Polara CHP. It's a special order car. They made 1,230 for the state of California. And California was the only state in the country that got this particular Chrysler-built police package. Very unique. Lots of features that you wouldn't typically see on a standard police package.
The first thing that stands out are the narrow cheese cutter tyres back in the time.
Very little dinky bias ply tires, but they run fine straight.
Okay, now what are we looking at engine-wise? Are we looking at a 361 or a 318 poly?
No, they went big. They have the 383 high output, and then it was equipped in California with a 413 camshaft and 413 heads.
Wow, so 383 in these cars in 61 for the cops.
Correct.
Wow.
The car was designed to go 100 miles per hour for 100 miles straight in 100-degree weather without any sort of failure.
That's 300s together.
300s, yeah. Maybe they should have called it a 300.
There you go.
Chrysler.
What an extraordinary car. And to think that the cars have come so far, we're talking, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a 65-year-old car here.
Correct.
But it was so capable of so many things back then.
It's surprisingly modern when you drive it. It has a feel of a modern car. It has a very advanced suspension system, heavy-duty torsion bars, heavy-duty sway bars, 5 leaf rear springs, on truck brakes, truck hubs.
Yeah.
Very substantial car that handles really well. Absolutely.
Now, we look at the car with those narrow tyres. You mentioned the suspension package. In terms of the lateral stability of the car, at 70, 80 miles an hour, how does it feel, Joe?
Well, again, I would just go back to what I said before, Fletch. It feels like a modern car. I don't feel like I'm driving a 65-year-old automobile. It just drives flat and smooth.
Joe, thank you very much again for making the trip down here. And oh, well, he made the trip and he got himself onto this episode. There you go.
And I watch you all the time. Now I can see me.
Thank you. Well, there you go.
When I was a kid, I loved cars, still do. The 57 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham was the most advanced car in the world. Cost more than a Rolls. Hand-built with a stainless steel roof, cruise control, electric seats, and would you believe, air suspension. American iron. It's a passion Shannons understand. That's why they insure my daily drive, the caddy, my bike, even the house.
Get a quote online or call 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
If you own a classic, it just has to be insured with Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646? And becoming a member of the Shannons Club has never been easier. For more information, visit shannons.com.au and access Australia's largest automotive online hub. Ross, it's a credit to you. I love what you're doing here.
Oh, thank you, Fletch. That really means a lot to me and to Eric. We're big fans of your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, look, the thing is, you went out on a limb. You weren't too sure if this business was going to work, and it's just from pure passion that you took that risk. And now you've got your own workshop. And as we alluded to earlier in the voiceover, it's not just C-bodies and cop cars. You appreciate all types of cars, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I like to say that we don't discriminate. We've got the mainstream classics, we've got the forgotten classics, and from some of the cars you've seen around us, we've got cars that people don't even know that they're classics.
The thing is, a lot of these cars that we see here, they went to the crushers, they weren't wanted, they had no respect. But when you see them here, to me, they're just awesome. They're great cars. You get great engines, great drive lines. They still drive nicely. You get a lot of car, don't you?
You really do. The full-size C-body Mopars in particular, I think, are one of the unsung legendary Mopars. They're really starting to come into their own now. You know, the muscle cars, the astronomical prices to immerse yourself in something like muscle car royalty has really sort of priced out normal guys like me and Eric.
Yeah.
And so we recognize we didn't grow up driving muscle cars, but we grew up watching TV in the 80s.
Yeah.
And what were our favorite cars to see on screen? The big giant Mopar police cars.
Yeah.
And they're still accessible to car fans out there
Yeah.
for you know, not a lot of money.
Well, they kind of are muscle cars. They've just got 4 doors.
Yes, and they have muscular parts, they have performance features that were not available on a lot of the civilian cars of the time period. So they are special package, which is really appealing to Mopar nerds like us. Well, Fletch, here's something I'd really like you to check out. This is a 1975 Plymouth Grand Fury Custom. We actually profiled this car in detail on our YouTube channel for Chase Classic Motors. And it's got a remarkable story to tell. It's an all-original Survivor. So if you just like to follow me, we'll start at the front here, and I'll move to the back of the car, and we'll get a closer idea and a better look at this car's amazing story. So we like to refer to this as the Prosecutor Plymouth. As I said, 75 Grand Fury, all-original Survivor, has only about 40,000 original miles on it, and this car was actually used by a retired county prosecutor from Atlantic City in New Jersey. And he is the original owner. He purchased this car brand new in 1975. He optioned it and spec'd it out himself. So it actually has some of his original radio equipment. It's got some modifications that he made to the engine, the drivetrain, and to the interior. And the interior is really what sets this car apart. It is immaculately preserved, as if it's a museum piece, in fact. The power plant inside this 75 Grand Fury is a sight to behold. You'll notice the beautiful new Chrysler turquoise blue engine paint that Eric recently applied when he had this 360 cubic inch plant out of this car. And there's a lot of amateur wiring work that went into it. Again, the owner did a lot of the own work himself over many, many years of ownership. As I mentioned, he is the original owner, now going on 50 years. This is also originally a 362 barrel car, because this was originally a civilian package that has sort of been customized and upgraded to include a lot of police package components, including the dual snorkel air cleaner, and you'll notice the 100 amp heavy duty Chrysler alternator. And before you go, one more thing I gotta show you is the amazing preserved quality of this vinyl top. Chocolate and caramel colored, and not a tear, not a rip, not a scratch. I mean, it's as if this car has sat in a museum for almost 50 years. So one of the other ways that this owner upgraded this car to serve with the county prosecutor's office, he added the heavy-duty 15x7 vented steel wheels from the police package. Now, this car would have originally had 15x6 or 15x6.5 non-vented wheels. These wheels actually came out in the 78 model year for the police package cars. But of course, this gentleman serving in a public safety capacity, he wanted to make sure that his car also was rocking the exact same police package wheel parts. Well, Fletch, I thought this might also pique your interest. This is a super rare Pontiac police package car. This is a 1971 Pontiac Catalina, and it's not just any Catalina, it is one of 23 that were custom made at the factory and dubbed the Freeway Enforcer. That means that not only does it have the Go Fast suspension and all the special police components, including the convertible box frame that was used on the drop top cars, but it also has the heavy duty 455 V8 engine. As you can see, Fletch, the Catalina Freeway package was all about performance. It was a little Spartan on the interior here. So we've got heavy-duty bench seats, we've got a special speedometer, but we've got no creature comforts. Interestingly, this was ordered by the Chief of Police along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and yet it wasn't equipped with any of the normal creature comforts you would think an administrator's vehicle would have. So it has no air conditioning, it has no power windows, no power seats, no anything. All this car has is a 455 up front, big 12-inch drums out the back, heavy-duty suspension, and Go Fast tires. This was the car that was designed to go out on the freeway and run down the Pontiac GTO. You know, we ran the numbers on this YC code 455. Unfortunately, its owner is a Pontiac expert, and he found that this 455 heavy-duty engine is specially tuned for police service, including it's the only model that got the dual snorkel air cleaner, which was good for an extra 10 horsepower, according to some of the experts we've talked to.
So, Eric, 1977 Grand Fury. What's going on here under the hood? We've got a 440. Anything special because it was a cop car?
Yeah, the 440 police engines were definitely a little bit hotter than the 440 engines available to the civilians at the time. This had, if I remember correctly, about 40 more horsepower, hotter cam, dual exhaust, a little bit different carb tuning. Well, this car was originally a Montana Highway Patrol car. We didn't save it from a junkyard. A friend of ours found it, got it running again, but it didn't really finish it. It eventually came to us, and we want to restore it as a Montana Highway Patrol car again, what it was originally.
My life is hot rods, designing them, building them, and racing them. If you're into rods or customs, you'll know what I mean. It's all about passion, purity, and soul.
Customs and hot rods like the SoCal Roadster is what we do.
And insurance for cars like ours is what Shannons do.
Rods, customs, and even your daily drive. Call Shannons on 134646.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
Like us.
Your story began in 1971. It's part of an endless tapestry that tells the story of our nation. It connects innovators to artisans, forests to houses, from the largest of operations to the smallest of outcomes. It's heritage. It's a legacy.
All right, time now with Eric, 1984 Plymouth Grand Fury. Now, Eric, you have restored this car, I believe.
Yeah.
With your own two hands. Tell us about the deal there.
Yeah, well, I was teaching at Baker College at the time. I was an automotive service instructor, and at night when I had access to our paint booth, I took this car there and I stripped it down and did a lot of body work on it and painted it myself in our paint booth.
It is absolutely stunning. And what a beautiful looking car. And 1984 too, not a lot of spotlight emphasis on that era when it comes to cars.
Yeah, that's deep into the Malaise era, so yeah, people don't love it as much as the 440 cars before it.
Yeah. Funny though, in police trim, it's amazing how good this car looks.
I always thought the Michigan State police cars are some of the most beautiful police cars there are.
Yes,
so
my word. Yeah.
This one is originally a real Michigan State police car,
Yeah.
and when it came up for sale on Craigslist back in, I think it was 2017,
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't let it go because I'd regret it forever.
Eric, the interior of this car, I love the attention to detail, right down to the police equipment as well.
Yeah, I tried very hard to do my research and put the correct police equipment in there. I even have a radar that says Michigan Radar Task Force on it, which I'm quite proud of.
And the trim too on the seats, like you've gone to the correct fabrics as well.
Well, I got lucky on the seats. It's a heavy-duty fabric, and so I didn't have to do much with the seats other than clean it.
Yeah, nice little dash layout too. I don't mind the cluster arrangements with the chrome bezels around the gauges of these cars too. I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, it does look cool, doesn't it?
Now, engine up front, what powers this 1984 car?
Well, this car is only powered by a 318 cubic inch V8. It does have a 4-barrel carburetor on it, which
Yeah.
the civilians couldn't get.
Right.
We had to have the 2-barrel.
At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with a 318 4-barrel.
Yeah, I like it.
They still motor along.
It's faster than you think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Eric, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for today. It's been wonderful catching up here. What is there not to love about this? Turning up to a workshop surrounded by these fantastic cars, original cars, some restored. It's a real credit to you and Ross. Well done, Eric.
Well, and thank you very much, Fletch, for coming and spending so much time with us. We're fans of your show, too, and there isn't another show that I can think of that we'd rather be on than yours.
Oh, that's very nice. That's nice words. Good on you, Eric. Well done. And again, I just love the work that you guys have done here. It's 2025. These cars are old cars now, and to see them like this in the workshop, it's like as though it could be a couple of decades ago or a few decades ago. So you're kind of, you're reliving the history.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the history alive, that's for sure.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you very much, Fletch. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. All right, Ross, moving through 1977, a Plymouth, a 440 car. The second last year of the 440, because it was all over in 78, wasn't it?
It sure was. This is the penultimate year, the last of a gasp of a great era in Mopar police performance. And what you see behind me is the ultimate representation of that here in Michigan, as this is the last known surviving Michigan State Police 440 Plymouth Fury.
It's incredible, almost hard to believe, to think that there were so many of them in service once upon a time, Ross.
Yes, Fletch. Of the 1,000 that we know existed, that the Michigan State Police ordered between 77 and 78, no other living survivors have ever been found, at least not in operational condition. One of the things I love about our Michigan State Police cars here is the longevity of the livery. Michigan State Police cars have been this blue State Police color with the red beacon and the Haler sign on the hood since 1956. For the time, it was a screamer. I mean, we're talking about a 4-door Plymouth sedan that had a higher top speed than a Corvette and could corner and handle like some performance cars of the day. In fact, there were only 3 exotics that were imported that were faster than this: the 911, the Ferrari 308, and the Maserati. It is 250 horsepower with 350 pounds of torque.
There you go. Another classic example of how important torque is. And you just wrapped it up then. One of the quickest cars in the 70s right here with 250 horsepower. It's a good looking car too, and they drive nice too, don't they, Ross?
They really do. And for the time, this is definitely one of the most comfortable cruising cars that we have in the collection here at Chase Classic Motors. And it's also one of our most popular YouTube videos, Fletch.
Now, I'm going to give you a little plug on that. These two guys haven't been in business long. It's great to see. Again, as we mentioned to Eric, we've got cars here that we've got a narrow window for. We have to try and preserve this history and let these guys continue. You do have a YouTube channel. Tell us how to find that.
It's at Chase Classic Motors on YouTube, and you can also see our videos at our website at chaseclassicmotors.com.
Good on you. Ross, I want to take this opportunity. It's been fantastic being here with you and Eric for the day. And again, you've had the praise from me. I think it's fantastic what you're doing. I love your cars. I mean, that restoration there is absolutely beautiful, right down to the CB antenna on the back of the rear quarter. Everything is period correct, attention to detail, and that's a real credit to you. Keep up your fantastic work, Ross.
We absolutely will, Fletch, and thanks to you and your viewers, we are hoping to have many more years ahead as we serve and protect great cars right here in Metro Detroit, the kind of cars that Eric and I grew up with, the kind of cars that your fans love back home in Australia, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, well, you're too far in. You got to keep going now. You can't back out at this point, Ross.
We will keep on going, and we will keep on preserving the great cars from our youth. This car is a living piece of Michigan law enforcement history, and we have a very specific history going along with this car, right up to the point that it was assembled at the Lynch Road plant on April the 7th of 1977. It was immediately commissioned by the Michigan State Police in July of that same year and found service at the Grand Haven Post, number 64, on the west side of Michigan. While there, it was piloted by Trooper Victor Windstrom, whose name and signature appears on the speedometer calibration chart right here above my head on the sun visor. This car would have been maintained in service until it reached 60,000 miles and then sold at auction sometime around late 1979 after 2 hard-working years as a Michigan State Police vehicle.
And so it ends. This episode featuring Ross and Eric is the final production in the entirety of crossing parts of the amazing United States of America for 2025. And of course, these episodes were not possible without the support of Shannons. It's been another cross-section of completion. 7 states this year were travelled through, again with the never-ending kaleidoscope of landscape changes and of course automotive content offering a variety from the abundance that is here, from a country where car makers began on some of the largest scales. Thanks to Shannons, we trekked across regional Pennsylvania, taking in some of the most difficult driving conditions to be greeted by Pat at the Swiget, the oldest automobile museum in the USA, showing makes and vehicle memorabilia rarely seen, even here in the USA. Then it was south into Virginia to feature an amazing guy by the name of Gary Duncan of Duncan Imports, where he told us he had a PhD, and that stood for Poppy Had a Dealership, resulting in one of the largest car collections in the USA. Gary also being the largest importer of classic Japanese vehicles into North America. Then working our way through west into Loretto, Kentucky, and it was time to catch up with a little guy working from home with his parts business, and David was proud to show us around Lyons Junkyard, another shrine of vehicles that once were crossing the highways and the byways of the United States. The lovely state of Indiana was next, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum was an absolute must-see, just weeks after an arduous $60 million 17-month completion of the biggest upgrade there in 40 years. We brought you cars, we brought you history, and we brought you the track, all 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers of it. Back into Kentucky to feature the Neely family distillery, we see Royce, and possibly the youngest guy in the United States with a brewery, and the first time the family has worked legally since 2015. The Neelys are proud of their family history, making the booze and running the shine, dating back to the mid-1700s. America's TV show legend Dennis Gage from My Classic Car was next, and Dennis took us into his family home, had a chat by Dennis's backyard lake, then into his barn, where we saw some of Dennis's classic bikes and a few of his cars that mean just so much to him. What a great guy. Another exclusive only on Classic Restos. Then it was up to Ohio, followed by a walk around in a Mopar barn, thanks to no stranger of Classic Restos, Murray Park from Seabodies.com. Rounding off in Detroit, Michigan with a newly established business, Chase Classic Motors, featuring two of the nicest guys in business you will ever meet, Ross and Eric, specialising in original classic police cars. Amazing stuff. It's been quite a ride. Thank you for coming along with us and enjoying this batch of episodes crossing parts of the USA 2025 with, of course, a big thanks to Shannons, because Shannons get it. They understand, and I'm only too proud to have been able to bring it to you. So until next week, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch. Thanks for watching. Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons. Sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club. Kenworth Trucks Australia. Dasmac, shipping your classic car from the world to your doorstep. And the Intershed.